Sunday, the 20th of September 2020. It's a beautiful day in Dundastan, Abaco, Bahamas. And as we come closer to another general election, something have to give. Something have to change for the survival of the majority of Bahamians. This Westminster type of government has not been benefiting the majority of Bahamians. Something have to change. That's why Kai always say, I don't want to be a politician, I'm not a statesman. What does Abaco want and need in a politician? Is there anybody in the House Assembly today that Abaconians would like them to represent them for the next 5 years, including Darren Henfield? Kai Mills C, nobody at all in this house, nor the last house, that I would like to represent like. Abaco is a different breed. We have been misrepresented for many decades. They come and they're on the plane, and when they come back, it's like the Christ child arrive. Wow, you're back 5 years. We, the people that elect them, have not educated themselves. Not me. Y'all, let's correct that. That is why I stopped voting for Hubert Ingram over a decade ago. You can't speak to him. He doesn't have any meeting. And it was so painful during the by-election that he gave back over $200,000 that he held in the bank for an office that should have been open in North Abaco. And it would have been so easy to do that, being that Hubert Ingram was never around. But this guy didn't want to hear from North Abaco. Boy, and did they love him for non-representation. But there's nobody that I see that I want to be like, because we have not been getting represented under this Westminster type of government. Look what's going on now. It is an unfair, evil practice. How could you start to govern by cheating and being unfair? It is unfair for the opposition because only the Prime Minister can call the date. He promised that in this time there will be a set date. That's too much power for him. I see him down in the Abaco right now like a little schoolboy with all his marbles and playing like he is Shogun. Ultimate power. That is too much power for one black Negro that doesn't have any people's skill. But something have to give. Everybody is benefiting from this Westminster type of government besides Bahamian. Everybody is benefiting. You imagine people come here as illegals and they're way ahead of us. We talk about the quiet takeover. The takeover have already begun. Nobody knew that Frankie Campbell was a Haitian until after elected. Nobody know that the Minister of Immigration mother was a Haitian first generation. Nobody knew that the Aguila is a Haitian. Nobody know the woman that can't read off her own script, cannot figure out numbers, is that she also married a Haitian. They have already in House Assembly. So the quiet takeover have already begun. When are we gonna be and have a system that benefits Bahamians? Look at Bakers Bay. Bakers Bay come into the Bahamas for $500 million. They're probably a $2 to $3 billion company. And who benefits from Baker's Bay? Expatriates. These people leave their homes in America, the land that everybody is killing themselves trying to get to make a difference. But they're killing themselves coming to Abaco, into Baker's Bay, and rulers of the plantation, because they are making millions while we can't pay an electric and water bill. But the expatriates that they put over us, they are getting a $25,000 work permit, and they're taking millions out of the country. Who's gonna stop it? When is the bleeding gonna stop? Look at all our national resources, natural resources. Everybody knows about it. Peter Thorncross gave this huge speech in Grand Bahama, how he's gonna change it. What happens? I asked somebody what happens to that big speech that Peter Thorncross made. They say these guys are making billion on the backs of Bahamian natural resources. So all they say to Peter Thorncross and people like him, which account you want me to put this 20 million in? Well, it's hard to say no to 20 million. But you have to be in a position to make better for those that can't make better. The Prime Minister's in Abaco. This is his second weekend. Eating caviar, drinking the finest of wine. Right in Scona Bay, Abaco. You'll be surprised to know who he's inviting down there. He ain't gonna invite no poor Negro. You should see who's down there. Probably want to chat those down there trying to figure how to screw us more. In that Maxwell's, where duty and the taxes has been passed on to us. It has never been taken off the good in Maxwell's. Whenever you could go into Nassau, buy stuff, the same stuff that's in Maxwell's, pay for it to come on the boat, and you still beat the price in Maxwell's that is duty-free, tax-free. It is impossible. Anybody that thinking with any sense to believe that we're not being screwed every day inside Maxwell's. But what is the alternative? That's the Prime Minister's boy. He probably down by Scona Bay now, drinking fine wine and eating eating the finest of beef on the backs of us and looking at us as we're peasants. For some reason, when they get elected, they look at us as nobodies. They are now in the high lean. But guess what? Oh, Dr. Minnis, you better have plenty bodyguard when you lose the election, because some stuff could get thrown in your face. Some words gonna be told to you. Have you destroyed the economy of the country without even looking back, and still destroying the economy of this country because that oligarchy power? You better hire 4 or 5 bodyguards, because you could never be a normal person. Never again in Nassau can you walk down the streets of Bay Street like Kai Mills can, because there's a lot of people that you have hurt intentionally and still hurting. The people of Abaco, I can't wait to see who's gonna go around in those red shirts to campaign for Darren Henfield. I don't know what Curlin gonna give y'all. I know 40 trailers is on the way, but is it gonna erase the memories of 1 year, 3 years? Before Hurricane Dorian, this government weren't for the people, nor has Darren Henfield had a meeting with his people. So what can Curlin bring in those containers, 40-foot trailers, to erase the memory of our dead sitting at the clinic for 9 months? And when they did have a funeral, they had armed bodyguard to keep the people from their relatives. And daring on top of the hill like Moses, waving to his people down below, couldn't even come down and ascend from off the hill to meet and greet his people as the Member of Parliament for North Abaco. Nothing can erase those memories from the minds of Kai Mills. That is why I keep coming to camera. And somebody say, Kai, when are you going to start campaigning? Every time I open my mouth, I am campaigning. I'm reminding y'all because some of y'all is like a lizard. It goes in one ear, out the other ear. I am a constant reminder of the hurt and the lack of respect and the non-representation that we have been getting from Lil James and Darren Henfield. 4 years in, nothing to show. It's one of these Kai Care videos speaking about the change that needs to come. Because this Westminster type of government is only for the rich, the foreigners, the illegals. They are benefiting more from this country than a person like me who has a 10-generation history of being Bahamian. And they come leaps and bounds on us because they break all the rules. And the officials are turning a blind eye. It's one of these Kai Care video. Late Sunday Kai Case.